Okay, so we're live. Welcome to our Pacific Rim US stand-up. Here with me is Patrick and Vijay. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Okay, so Patrick, shoot.
Okay, so since yesterday, I took another look at Vijay's code. Actually, I didn't need to. Vijay said that issue went away when she restarted her server, so no need to do that. I looked at Sanja's code. She's working on the application reject story. She has an issue updating the applications table if there's no pagination links, so I did something with JavaScript last night, got that to work, posted that to her on Slack. Reviewed Tongwei's PR on preventing duplicate job application. Looked good to me. I added some stories for job seeker privacy controls. I added some stories that we need for MVP for employers to search for job seekers, matching a job and a request to follow up with the job developer if they're interested in a particular job seeker. I completed the review of the UX review that Sam had put together. I reviewed the client agenda. I created some initial stories from the UX review. I did a little bit of work on the email service implementation, but Arun said he wanted to take that, so he's got that story. He's waiting for that account to be created to us, so whenever you've got that done, you can start working on that. I also prepared for the demo to the client, and I ran into a lot of problems. I've got 3 or 4 bugs I'm going to open. As an example bug, when we submit an application, we attach the resume to the email, and then we basically delete the temporary file that's used for that attachment. It sounds good as long as you don't delay email processing. We're delaying, other than test, everywhere we test, we're delaying. We're not delaying email processing, so it's all synchronous. So this came out in actual use of the UI. So obviously we're trying to send an email, but we're delaying it by 10 seconds. In the meantime, we have deleted the temporary file that's going to be attached when the email is processed. And so that's failing. Anyway, I've turned off delayed mail in my demo environment here, so I think I can still show that. And I've got a couple other problems that I ran into. It's a frustrating afternoon here. Anyway, I think I'm okay for the 2 demos. Maybe a little bit rough, but we'll see what we can do. And that's it. No blockers.
Okay, thank you. So, Vijay?
Yeah, after restart my server, it is loading the data properly and displaying the pagination correctly. And I ran the Cucumber and aspect test. One of the aspect tests is failed. I changed the method and fixed that one. And I create the PR today. And one of the integration tests is failed. I reopen the PR and again it is failed. I have to do it, close the PR and reopen again. That is okay.
It's not the recurrent error, right?
That is the event management, the company registration.
Let me see which error. Yes, because there's an error that we're always having. There, and it's just question of block or something. Yep, that's the event one.
Yeah.
So the event one, I'll just try to rebuild it here. Don't need to close it. So let's see. Feature. Oh, not feature. Event. Yeah. So did we add a timeout here, Patrick? Do you remember? Oh, we added it, but really after that, it's a step before.
I thought we did add. That's scenario line 65, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a wait 2 seconds. But it's right after the step that fails. So it's not waiting those 2 seconds. The problem is that
No, we need to wait. Don't we need to wait after that step has failed? So it was
full. Because now it's failed. The step that is failing is then I click the widgeting link and switch to the new window. This is the one that's failing. And it's failing because block pass to window open by open 0 windows instead of 1.
Yeah, we're not giving it a chance to open basically a tab or a new window and then switch to that tab. So this used to fail continually. Then I put the wait for 2 seconds and it mostly passed. Arun was having problem.
The error is not in the wait. It's before the wait. So it's in the step that changes the window. We are passing a block, but that block didn't open any window.
So that particular, well, that's weird.
I will restart the build nevertheless and see what happens, but I'm just going to share my screen with the error there. Okay, so this is the error that we are having now. And the problem is that the window is not being opened, so it's failing. So it couldn't open the window. Now,
So sometimes it succeeds and sometimes it doesn't. So that can't be addressed with the wait then, obviously.
if the error is the fact that it's not opening the window, yes, we cannot address this. But if the error it's not this one, we will have to see. So I'll just rebuild this. Where's my button? There's no master button here. Okay, so I'll just do this. And
I'm kind of getting to the point where maybe we ought to just comment out that step and the subsequent steps that looks at that second window, because it's just a pain for everybody.
I'm okay with that. If we are sure that we cover this in other parts of the testing, I'm okay with it. Okay, so I'm just restarting this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so anything else?
No.
No. Oh, I'm missing myself. Today, I corrected some points that you, Patrick, sent to me on the documentation. I made a new change on the documentation. I also changed some code in the cruncher that was not working. And I also did a commit for the project, for a project scope MVP, and I think that was that for me today.
I haven't had a chance to look at the updated API documentation, but I did. So the rating, the match rating will come back as a float. How many digits to the right of the decimal point would we expect to see? Just one?
It's mobile.
It's what?
I don't know.
So, okay, so we'll just have to clip it then.
So what happens is I created a sort of an algorithm in order to do this. Okay? And I don't remember, it was a nice algorithm that I thought about and that I placed there, and it's not working as I wanted to, but it's working more or less. It's basically I pick up the 5 most important categories of a specific that was categorized, the first 5, and I give them values, and then I try to see if let's imagine this is a resume, and we have like 5 categories here, and then I pick up a job and see if the categories have. So let's start with the first category, that's more correct, that's better option there. So in this first, I see if it's the same on the job. If it's the same, I give it 800 points. If the second is, then I pass to the second. If the second is the same, I'll give it 400 points, and so on. At the same time, if the categories are are turned, for example, if I find the category that is in first place, I find it on the right side, I just give him points, but less than 800. And so then I pick all that up and I divide the total sum that I have there by the total amount, and that gives me stars.
That's interesting. I thought the Bayesian model was going to compare these two textual corpus, or what they call, text blobs, and come back with a probability of there being a match, whatever match means, between 0 and 1.
What they are doing, and what the Bayesian does, it tries to it picks up a text and tries to tell you in which category that text might fit in.
Yep.
So basically, it's not a similarity between two blobs of text, but it's the similarity of the categories they are more near.
I
so
see.
They give you like a list of categories that that document might be categorized as, and then we do the math in the middle to check what's the matching criteria there.
So if you have 20 categories, you'll match a resume against those 20. It'll give you the probability of a match for all 20. You take the top 5 matches and then do that algorithm you said with respect to jobs and voting against.
Yep. Basically, that's it.
Okay. So I'm wondering if you want to just be able to clip the rating to 1 decimal point to the right of the, or 1 digit to the right of the decimal point. Otherwise,
is there any problem?
No, it's just it'd be easier if we got that. Otherwise, everybody who's using the matcher and getting results back will have to do that clipping on the Rails side, and we may have multiple places in which we have to do that. So it might be easier to just do it in the cruncher.
But that's I'm giving you a set of numbers between 1 and 5. I can round them. Yeah, I can round them.
Yeah, just round to maybe 1 decimal point. 1 digit to the right of the decimal point.
I'm leaving the resume.
Okay, Vijay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come to the client meeting to late little bit.
Okay. So it's 5:30, so I need to start the meeting.
Yep. Okay.
We'll talk.
If you can get that mail grid, mail gun account done, and just let Arun know, that'd be great.
I was talking to you to try to understand if because I have a MedPlus mail. That's what I told you, and I didn't do anything because I was waiting for you to tell me if you wanted me to use that mail or the other one.
The MedPlus domain one is fine. I just thought it might be better to be in our control, a Gmail account, because
it's in our control. I have the password, the username and password.
Okay, then we're fine then. So Chet can't screw us up unintentionally then.
No.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
He created an email for us and gave me the password, so we have access to it.
Cool. Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks.
So I'll start the client meeting.
All right. Yep.